Welcome for his namesake. So glad to have you here. I'm Valentine. These are my parents, Mike and Martina.
Hello.
Hello.
Recently, we had a request to do a Q&A. We did one about a year ago individually, but this will be our first time all together, and we have some new subscribers, so hopefully this will clear up some things if you had some questions. We did have, if you're wondering about the questions, we did have in the community post down below. We had 3 people. Daddy, it's gonna go normal in a minute.
Oh, okay.
Now the Lindsay. Now we're changed
That is
again.
so weird.
Okay, don't.
Yeah, don't.
They probably get
All
tired,
right, I'll move it back to
tired of
Yeah.
our hands
Okay.
going in front of their
Okay.
face. Okay.
We did order a new camera, but the battery's not charged yet. Okay. Like I said, we had 3 people give questions. In case you're wondering, like, I didn't get to ask a question. Well, I did tell you in one of the videos that it was in the community post. So, shall we?
Okay, these are just kind of all mixed match. So those of you who did come up with questions, don't worry, we'll get to your question eventually. We just kind of mixed them all up together here. Okay, the first question is, have you visited any of the churches around town recently? If not, why? And if you can't make a Sunday service, maybe there's a Bible study to join? Who wants to answer that one?
Well, we have not visited any recently. Well, we have our son who is basically an atheist right now, so we have to have somewhere for him to stay while we would go to church, and that's not really feasible right now. Yeah, if you can't make a Sunday service, maybe there's a Bible study to join.
It's okay.
I don't know, but this will have the same issue about we're to leave our son. So
Yeah. And yeah, there. And then the other thing was, Valentine and I were discussing this earlier today. I'm sorry, I have to turn off my phone because we don't want that to go off in the middle of this. That'd be terrible.
And the viewfinder went black, but it still should be running. And I have a
Timer going.
a stopwatch that shows
Okay.
how long we've been talking.
Okay, good, because I was getting out my cell phone to do the exact same thing. Okay, so as far as a Bible study is concerned, there's a lot of Bible studies and ladies' Bible studies, men's Bible studies, but there's an issue with the Bible studies is that when we start to get really involved, people start asking questions like, where do you live? And they're kind of nosy, which street do you live on? And we're not quite ready to disclose the information to them that we are homeless. Lots of reasons, but mainly in this city, homelessness is frowned upon. We've discussed that before. That's the main reason right there. Once people find out you're homeless, okay, you're homeless. That kind of, and then they just don't talk to you anymore, so to speak, or they shun you, so to speak, or I don't know. Word gets around quickly, and so we just we're kind of hanging low. We're laying low on that subject. That's why we don't join any Bible studies, unfortunately. But Valentine and I have done Bible studies together before, and since we've been homeless together, and we've had another local lady join us, and that's always fun. So that's what we've been doing for that. Okay, who wants
And
to?
even we were to go to New City, we're kind of hesitant to become members anyway, just because of all the church that we've gone through.
Right. Okay. Who wants to ask that next question?
Oh, are we going to mention who wrote the questions?
I don't know. I don't know if they want to or not, but you can always go back to the poll that we did on the post, and you can find out who asked these questions. We just didn't know if you all wanted your name to be mentioned. Some people are kind of private in that sense. I don't know. Okay. What do you think?
Well, I mean, I would, because you already kind of gave it out when you wrote your question in the post, but we can leave it silent for now.
Okay. All right.
Okay, well, someone else asked, what all instruments can y'all play?
Mike, you can start.
Well, right now, I don't really play anything, but I can read music.
Okay.
In high school, I learned how to play the clarinet, and there is one video over a year ago that you could watch of Fanny Crosby. I forgot what it's called, but just look clarinet for his namesake. You'll see me playing the clarinet. I don't do it anymore. I ran out of air too quickly. And I can play the guitar, and I can sort of self-teach myself piano.
and I can play guitar and piano. I haven't played piano in a while, but it's kind of like riding a bicycle. Once you know how to do it, it should be easy to pick up easily anywhere. Okay, number 3. Honey, you want to read that out loud?
Sure. What are some other simple meals you make to eat? And have we tried peanut butter and jam or jelly yet? Well, to answer that question, let's see. Simple meals would be like, well, one time we made a salad, and that was kind of fun. Eating it was hard because, like, how are you going to put all this stuff together with what we have to work with? But I mean, it was really good. Me personally, I buy a lot of like soups with the pop top, and Vienna sausage, and tuna fish packs with like a little meal in a pack and things like that. So I'm flexible in that way, and so but they are not that flexible.
And you'll eat. Me and Valentine, we eat mainly snacks. We don't make any lunches per se. It's like, what do you want to tell us? You eat like
I
corn
think
chips?
I mentioned I kind of self-trained my stomach to eat lightly during the afternoon, and I fill up during dinner time.
Yeah, and I'll have a banana midday, or then some unhealthy things like donuts, cheap donuts at Walmart. I know that's not healthy, but I have a sweet tooth, and it won't go away.
As far as the other simple meals, in the beginning of our homeless journey, when we were not doing very well, before the surplus money from our auctioned house came, we did go to Aldi's, and we tried to find cheap bread, and they did have a nice selection of salami as well, but then they stopped selling it, and they had more expensive things at that time we can no longer afford.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's always nice.
Yes.
Salami sandwiches.
And then occasionally we'll get ourselves a small avocado each. Except Valentine, she doesn't like avocados. and we'll you can cut it in half, take the seed out, and put salt, pepper, some some dried dill weed, and olive oil, and
red wine vinegar.
And it is so good.
Something else to mention about the PB&Js. In the summer, at least in Texas, it's I would not recommend it. It always got very runny or got rancid in the heat. Same with the honey. It was just not a good situation. And we can't put food in our storage because it will attract mice.
Yep.
So,
but we do like PB&J sandwiches, right? For the most part?
I do not.
Oh, you don't. Oh, I'm sorry. I learned something new about my husband after 33 years of marriage.
I've never eaten one in 33 years of marriage either.
Okay. Oh, wow. All right. Okay. So that answers that question. Okay, number 4. Does Martina and Mike have any siblings?
Me personally, I am an only child, so I don't have that issue.
I have a younger brother that's 2 years younger than me, and my father was married before he married my mom, and so he had 6 kids with that family. So in addition to my whole brother, I guess is what you would call it, I have, oh my goodness, let me think, 4 half-brothers and 2 half-sisters. One sister is deceased as of 1991. Yeah, so those are siblings. Okay, number 5. Valentine, you want to read that one if you can read my writing?
How did the 3 of you and why did you decide to give your life to Christ?
Okay, y'all can start.
Oh, let me start first. I was just going to say, mine is a very lengthy testimony, and if you're interested in knowing more about that, I'll have Mike put in the description box below my testimony, which is found on the first Amazing Grace song that we did, where just Valentine and I are singing. It's a pretty lengthy testimony, and so you can check all that out there. So I won't get on it in it right now. I'm sorry. It's just a very long, lengthy testimony of how I accepted Jesus. Okay, I'll let one of y'all go next.
Okay. Me personally, I accepted Jesus basically when I was like 10 years old, and in church, the Baptist church we used to go to when I was a kid. And I think it was like after school that back under when they used to have what was called royal ambassadors. I'm not even sure if that exists anymore in Baptist churches, but that was what we did after school back then. And I always thought I was saved, but then I found that I wasn't, and so I wanted to. I felt the need to, take care of that and talk to her. My mom had me talk to our pastor, and he led me to Christ, and I've been a Christian ever since.
For me, when I was 9 years old, four of us, my sister included, we went to Oklahoma to the Voice of the Martyrs conference for several days. They had sessions for the adults and sessions for the children. The last day of the children's session, the lady asked everyone to raise their hand if they had not accepted Christ. Me and my sister, we looked around the room and no one had their hands raised up. And so I shakily put my hand up in the air, and she said, "Oh, would you like to accept Christ?" And I just nodded. So someone else took me to the back room, said the sinner's prayer. But I remember I was very distracted because there were two other little girls who came in and they were laughing and talking. So for a few years, I wasn't quite sure if I was saved or not, but I do know that when I was around 12 to 13, I kind of resaid the prayer on my own in my room. Kind of like a rededication, I guess.
Yeah, that's sweet. Okay, number 6, as a family, how are you planning on celebrating Christmas? Maybe there's a Christmas Eve service you could attend. I'm thinking this Christmas, hopefully, we'll be able to go over to our younger daughter's apartment and celebrate Christmas with her as we plan to celebrate Thanksgiving with her, Lord willing. But I don't know. Last year it was actually I thought it was a beautiful Christmas time together. We just had it in the truck and we sang songs and we exchanged gifts and we had a nice Christmas meal, or like sandwiches, cold cuts and stuff. We call it cold cuts, hams, cheeses and such. And I thought it was very nice. I enjoyed it. I would say that was one of the better Christmases of my life, believe it or not, as in homeless. Y'all got anything to add to that?
Oh, if you're wondering, we did like a service, and you can find that last year. Just look up Christmas Eve service for His namesake.
We did our own, yeah. And as far as going to church, though, again, there's the issue of our son who went through a lot. We all went through a lot of church hurt, but he went through the worst, to the point where it changed him into atheism. So that's a sad thing there. And there's no place for him to go on Christmas Eve. That'd be kind of rude if we went to Christmas Eve service and we said, just hang out outside somewhere. I mean, everything else is closed, so that wouldn't be good. So we won't be going to any Christmas Eve service. Unless he just happens to come out and say, hey, let's go to Christmas Eve service. Wouldn't that be a miracle?
Mm-hmm. Yes, that would be.
Yeah. Okay. Someone else want to take the next question there, Mike? Can you read my writing there?
Okay. What are the differences in ages of your children? Well,
don't say the other girl's name. Our other daughter is extremely private. We are not to mention her name or age. So,
although you kind of might figure it out because I've told you my age before.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you know Valentine's age, you can kind of do the math and figure out the other one.
4 ages difference, right?
Right. There's 4 and 8 different, and 4 years and 8 years from Valentine. So.
Well, not my brother. I am 12 years older than my brother.
Close enough. Anyway.
Yeah. That's kind of neat, isn't it? 12 years difference between the oldest child and the youngest child. And no, we didn't plan it out that way, but God did. Okay. I guess, you might want to answer this question here.
Would you consider Section 8 or low-income housing for a season? We know it's not the nicest, but maybe just while you get on your feet. I can't speak for my parents. I personally don't want to, especially... Well, I guess the ones I've seen around here are not as bad as the ones I've heard about, but still not the nicest, I guess. It's way too close. And no offense to those who smoke, I'm sorry, but it's very strong. There's no rules, I guess, to smoking. They're like right out the door. I just can't handle that.
Yeah. Me too. I wouldn't be able to handle it. This is like Smoke City, USA. That's what I call it. To me, I mean, we've been to Las Vegas. We just drove through, but I don't know if it's really smoky there or not. But I would say that this is, that may be Sin City. This is Smoke City, where we live. I'm serious. It's just terrible. And if they're not smoking, then they're vaping, and I'm highly allergic to cigarette smoke or just smoke in general. So it really bothers me. And you try to enjoy the day, roll down the windows in the truck, and here comes somebody smoking again. Mm-hmm. So no, I don't want to live in Section 8 living, because I've seen them. They're all sitting outside their porches and verandas, and they're all smoking. Every single one of them. I'm thinking, isn't there one person like us who doesn't smoke around here? So the answer to that question for me would also be no. What about for you?
Well, there's also red tape. There's some red tape involved as far as legalities and whatnot like that, and you can't stay there for free. Right. I don't believe so. You have to make some kind of rental payment. Mm-hmm. Right now we can't do that, so that's not an option too much. Mm-hmm. And also there's this, we've been on like food stamps and stuff like that, and there's you have to do things in order to receive aid, so it's probably very similar. You have to, do things in order to receive the aid too. So right now, we can't go down that road and do that. Right.
Okay.
All right.
Number 9. If you could live in any state, which state would it be? I guess I'll go first. I am proud to say that I am glad I live in Texas. As much as I love California and Georgia and all those other states we visited, I love Texas. Texas has everything you can ever imagine to offer. It has, the valleys, it has the mountains, it has the oceans, beaches. It has everything you can ever imagine. And it's big and beautiful, and I love it. So I'm glad to be a Texas gal. What about the rest of y'all?
I'm a 2-state person. I love Texas like my mom. Love it, and I don't want to move away from Texas. But I would like to move away during the summer, because that's where it's just really rough on me. So if I was rich, I would have a summer home in Wisconsin, because we've been to Wisconsin before during the summer. Very nice temperatures and very beautiful.
That's actually a pretty good idea. Mm. Yeah, just for fun, I would like to live in Alaska for a little bit and get to experience the outdoorsiness of Alaska. Mm. I've heard there's Alaska has its own social issues and what like that, but just to fish for salmon and stuff like that, and it's good. They have so much scenery and stuff to a lot to do and experience there. I think it'd be fun for a little bit, but my home is in Texas.
Okay. Can y'all read that? You want me to read, or can someone else read that one?
Okay, go ahead.
What were the early years of marriage like for Martina and Mike? Any fun stories or memories?
Let's see. You can go first if you want to.
Well, I'll just start off by saying, when Valentine, our firstborn, was born, and the baby days of that, Mike and I were constantly at each other's throats as far as, oh no, you're not doing the diaper right. That's not how you change the diaper, and that's not how you do this, and you forgot to do that, and you left the pail open, and it just went. We were just nitpicking at each other constantly, and my mother was there the first week or so, kind of, helping to take care of the baby, and then she got so sick and tired of that, she finally got a big old canvas like you do for painting, and wrote down. Her name was Omi, so she called herself Omi instead of Granny. It was Omi, and it was called Omi's Hot Tips to Staying Cool while taking care of the baby. And so we just followed that she had like a list of things of the do's and don'ts of when you're taking care of the baby. It doesn't have to be perfect. There is no right answer. Everybody's going to change the diaper differently as long as you get the diaper on and it stays on. But there were other little things we picked on each other about. So the first few years we were, kind of like, first-time parents. Didn't know anything. We had every book you can imagine on how to be a parent, but you really can't go by the books because each child is different, and each parent is different. So, and we're going to do things differently as far as parenting. We're not going to always follow the books. You got to come up with your own parenting skills. So,
And how you were raised was different.
exactly, that too. So you kind of take a little bit of, well, this is how I was raised, and let's do that with Valentine, and then he would do the same. Well, that's how I was raised with my family, but eventually you kind of come up with your own kind of as well.
Yeah.
So
By the time the second
child came along,
we didn't care anymore.
well, yeah.
It was like it was all old stuff, and it's like, if something falls on the ground, oh, who cares? Just wipe it off, and it's good to go.
Yeah.
But the first one was like, oh no, what are we going to do? We have to do this, we have to do that. Everything has to be perfect. So it's like,
Yes.
we learned some things between first child and second child.
Yeah, exactly. So it was like, I'd say, I guess to answer the question there, a lot of learning for the both of us. And the funny stories would be, like he said, the pacifier would fall on the ground with Valentine. Oh no, we got to go and wash it and then sterilize it before it can be used. And then by the time the second child came along, oh, it fell on the ground. Okay, we'll just wipe it off and it should be okay. And then by the third,
the 5-second rule always applies.
Exactly. Exactly. By the third child, it definitely was a 5-second rule. Oh, it's only been on the ground for 5 seconds. It's clean. Yeah. Okay. Here's a question for you. You can read that one out loud.
Valentine, have you ever thought of online dating? That's how my husband and I met. That's so sweet. I have other friends who have also met their husbands through online dating. I just don't know if I could. I'm kind of I don't know. To be honest, I've never even just dated a man. So God's gonna have to, I think, bring him to me so I can get to know him a bit better.
Kind of like I was brought to Mike. He was a shy introvert.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he said, if I'm going to get married, God, you're going to have to send me my wife. So that's what happened, right? Kind of the same situation. Yeah, but I told her, don't be nervous in front of Mike and I, as far as answering that question, because at one point I was very against online dating. I was terrified of it. But then she's got some friends that did that, and they seem to be having very happy marriages, doing really well, got kids, and wow, and they're Christians. And I'm thinking, and they're truly, truly Christians. They're not just these ones that say they're Christians and then really they're not. They're truly living biblical Christian lives. So it can happen. So now I'm more open to it. So she decides she wants to go that route. I'm okay with it, as long as he's not living in another state. Oh my goodness, that'd be so sad. That'd be terrible. Oh my goodness. There's a condition there.
Yes.
Okay. That's very messy writing. I guess I'll read that out loud. If you're comfortable, what's the breakdown of your monthly expenses? Mike, you want to tackle that one?
I'm not going to necessarily say how much everything is, because just for some privacy sakes. But I mean, we do have certain things we have to pay every month. We have car insurance. We have our phone plans. We have the rental on the storage unit. We have the YMCA membership thing we use.
Those are the bigger bills.
And then we have
gasoline.
We have gas. We have food and laundry, and then we have other odds and ends that we actually cosmetics, toiletries, whatever else we might need for living. So it's like that's our primary expenses.
And for those of you who are new, I encourage you to go to the playlist, our homeless playlist, because you're probably wondering, well, how in the world are you affording all of this? Well, after a home situation, a few months later, we got surplus money from our house that was auctioned off, and that lasted us for about a year. Mm-hmm. But now it's gone.
Mm-hmm. So if you're wondering how we're making it now, our two of our children do give us gas money, so that helps out quite a bit. And then YouTube is kind of slow on paying us. They wait until they get to what, $130, if even that.
No.
How does it work?
It works, but you have to reach a $100 threshold, and then they'll pay from about 21st to 26th of the month.
And sometimes it takes us 2 to 3 months to get to $100. It all depends on how many of you are watching, the watch hours, if anyone's watching the ads. Members, that does help, so we're so grateful for you.
Yeah.
If you feel led to, I've been praying that we would get
Me too.
more members, just because
Yeah.
it is a lot. It's $4.99. When I say it's a lot on our end to keep up with expenses.
Right, yeah. And like we said, we already looked for jobs. They're just not available in the city. Nobody wants us, apparently, and nobody wants anybody because there's a lot of homeless people here. And it's on the rise, folks. It's on the rise. Not just men, there's women too. It makes me cry every day. And probably because they couldn't get a job. This city is terrible for not having jobs available. They're always saying now hiring, but apparently they're extremely selective. My goodness. I already told you when I went through with the YMCA, they wanted me to be God practically. That's not possible. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry I'm getting kind of passionate here, but it's very frustrating.
If you're wondering about everyone else here, most of the other people that don't work here, they go all the way to Fort Worth. That's a long drive for us.
Yeah.
We cannot do that every day.
Right. Our truck has practically got problems already as it is. We don't need more wear and tear.
I don't have time to drive the
And he doesn't have time. He's picking up the other kids, taking them to and from work. It just doesn't. It's not going to work for us. So it's very. I don't know what the word is.
Well, we have to work here or not at all.
Right.
That's kind of how that is.
Yeah. Okay. I think the timer's going to go off, but but we can always edit that out and add more.
We have 3 minutes.
Okay. Well, here's another question. What's your favorite candy or chocolate? I'll go first in case anybody wants to send me some. I love Russell Stover chocolates, folks. I love them. And if they're nutty and especially chewy, those are my favorites. I know they're not good for your teeth, but I love them. And I only get to have them maybe once a year because in the summertime, forget it. It'll melt in the truck in no time. So that's my favorite of all. And I don't do candy anymore because I do have a lot of cavities and I've had some teeth pulled. So I don't do like hard candy or chewy candy. I stay away from that, but I do like the Russell Stover chocolates. Okay, and Valentine, you want to say?
I don't like it at all, just because I've always had bad experiences with, starting when I was young, children being disgusting. I'm not even tell you, but disgusting with it. And then it evolved into other things. No offense to my family members who eat it, but it just got gross, and the things laying around, no, that is a no. But I do like dessert, especially homemade. I love chocolate chip cookies. I do like chocolate chip, but not like in the wrapping, that just, ugh. Chocolate chips, brownies, cakes, I do like that.
Yes.
And me, my favorite is Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. Oh, I can live off of those things.
Okay. Next question is, when are your birthdays or birthday months? If you don't feel comfortable saying your year, you can just say your birthday.
Mine's in September.
May, the end of May.
And mine's in the December 5th.
Cool.
Mine's May 26th.
Yeah,
I might have to say.
And his is September, do you mind telling what day is? The 21st, right?
Mine's the 21st.
Okay.
And our son is December 5th.
Okay, we won't mention our daughter, the other one, because she wants
yours
to be
is December
private.
5th.
Mine's December 5th, his is December 9th.
Yes.
He's going to beat the big 20.
And then we have a final question here, if we can get it in before the timer goes off, is, has your outlook changed on being homeless this year? If so, how is it different from last year? I'm going to let someone else go first because I'm always rattling and talking first, so someone else go first.
Outlook as far as being homeless goes, it really hasn't changed that much. I mean, for me, it's not a lot is changing right now, and I don't foresee it changing much in the future. So the outlook right now is pretty much as it is now, unless something drastic changes.
There's good and bad. The first few months of homelessness was so boring. The days dragged. Really dragged, folks. Okay.
Is it dragged or drug? I'm not sure which one
I don't know.
But then it helped when both of my siblings were working. My brother also has 2 shifts. My poor dad has to do all the driving. But it does help to break up the day. Then our ministry kind of got more and more. Did more videos, more different kinds of content, not just singing like we used to do. Now we're doing talks and shorts and now Q&As and day-to-lives. And that does keep us busy too.
That's right.
So that's that's the pro. The con is I'm not as optimistic as it was in the beginning of our homeless journey. It has been kind of wearing on me.
Yeah. And for me, I have changed in a way that I'm more interested in reaching out to our fellow homeless people. I really feel like there needs to be that's a mission field in itself, and it's the sad thing is that churches in this area really haven't reached out at there was a couple, let me just rephrase that. There was a couple that started a shelter here about a year ago or so, and they wanted the city's support to get that launched and, you know, help them with the finances and stuff. And this city refused. They didn't want to have anything to do with the homeless people. So now the homeless shelter is just become someone's house, basically, with a bunch of men living there. But there's no running water, there's no electricity, and then there's all these homeless people just roaming around the streets, and it just breaks my heart. So my attitude has changed, whereas before I was kind of like, you know, yes, I'm homeless, but I'm not as homeless as you are, but not in that kind of, I wasn't showing them that attitude, but I was just more like, we really don't have anything in common. I'm in a car with a family, y'all are single men. That's in my mindset, and I was thinking, I really can't have anything to do with them. But now I want to be a part of that community. I want to reach out to them. But the funny thing is, I'm a woman and they're men. That seems so awkward. I feel like saying, maybe I can be your spiritual mother. I can be like your mother. Maybe you can see me as your mother. But anyway, long story short, as far as for the first year, I was very, very at peace. I had the peace that surpasses all understanding. I was okay with being homeless. Now I'm still okay with being homeless to an extent, except I'm starting to miss cooking in the kitchen, or Valentine cooking and baking in the kitchen, or anyone, all of us, the entire family loves to cook and bake, and I miss everybody's home cooked meals. Now our daughter that lives in her apartment, of course, she gets to cook and everything, but I just would like to do it myself too, and she would like to do it herself. She has a lot of recipes to go by, and I just really miss that. I really do. So that part is getting a little, how do I say, it's starting to tug at me. But as far as continuing to live in the truck, I don't mind. There's certain inconveniences, of course, but overall, I'm just glad to be with my family. That's the most important thing to me. God and family. You know, really. So, yeah. So, but as far as, do I foresee myself being homeless in the future? I don't know. I really couldn't tell you. I mean, I would hope that we're in a home, but I don't want to have I don't want to pay a mortgage. I don't want to pay a rent. I don't want any bills. So, oh my.
Sorry, folks.
I guess that's a timer or a phone call going off. I am so sorry. I have a lot of alarms going off throughout the day. Apologize for that. But yeah, so that's I have a lot to say. I'm sorry. I do a lot of talking.
No, it's good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I think that I know we answered because I went through all those questions. I hope I didn't leave any one of them out. If I did, I apologize. And so thank you so much again, ladies. It was all ladies who gave us the ideas of questions. We appreciate every single question and every one of you. And thank you so much, because we were thinking, oh no one's coming up with any questions. And then one lady came up with a whole bunch of them, so that was nice. And then the rest of y'all came up with some others. And
well, if you're watching this and have some other questions, we'll make a list and do another one of these.
Definitely.
Nice.
Yeah.
And again, folks, if you're wondering, like, I never got any notification, I always say, and I'm going to try to keep reminding you folks, at least once or twice a week, go to the community and see if we posted anything. Because more than likely we have. And I'll also let you know when we have live streams going on. We have one recently, and the technical difficulties weren't there that day, so that was amazing. Hopefully the next time we'll have the same outcome.
Yes. Oh, and I want to say also another thing with the God in our stories that was started weeks ago. There was one person that one of our subscribers sent a story, and that was wonderful. And then no one else has sent any other stories, and we each did a few. And then I got very, very discouraged to the point of to the point where I was actually crying, because I thought, wow, this is such a neat little thing to do, but I guess people are not into stories, or they just don't think they're good enough. It doesn't have to be a perfect story. Just tell us something that happened and then send it to us, and then maybe we can make it sound better, or edit it the way, to make it sound more exciting if that's what we want to do. But it'll be a true story. We won't be adding any extra stuff to it. It'll be an all true story. So I became so discouraged that I just kind of put that on the back burner. And then I felt like maybe God was saying, get back to writing, Martina. So now I'm finishing up a true story that happened with me. And so hopefully that'll be up and coming pretty soon. And so please, if you have a story, everyone has a story. Everyone in this entire world has had several stories happen within our main story.
Right.
I mean, we've had lots of different things that we've gone through, folks. Good, bad, the ugly, everything in between. It can be something simple like Valentine sharing that she was homeschooled and comparing the two, something like that.
Yeah.
We would love to hear your stories. That's another way for us to get to know you better. See? And then you all get to know us better by the stories we share. So anyway, I had to mention that.
Yes. So if you want to know how to submit one, go to the playlist, Goner Stories playlist. And each of the videos in the description box, it'll tell you how to submit one to us.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
And I feel like I'm always forgetting things at the end. Remember, if you feel led to, please join our membership page. It's $4.99. It is not $6 something like YouTube is telling me. I don't know why they're doing that, folks. So don't believe them. Believe us. Is there anything else that we are missing?
I think we're okay. Don't forget my husband's Sunday morning Bible studies. It's like, especially for those of you who don't go to church and you don't go to Sunday school, that's perfect. Just sit behind your computer or TV and listen to the Bible study. He has some really nice, like a Sunday school lesson. It feels like a Sunday school class to me. So yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And also, some of their videos have a chance for you to hyper videos.
Yeah.
So take advantage of that and hyper videos, and that will help YouTube advertise our videos to reach more people.
We'd appreciate that.
Yeah.
I was going to say something that was kind of important. Well, I mean, it was not very important. I just remembered something about that. By the time you're watching this, yesterday would have been Thanksgiving. So, hope you all enjoyed your Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Enjoyed time with your family and your time off work for those of you who are still working.
Right.
And I think that's all we need to say.
Yeah.
So happy Thanksgiving to you guys.
Yeah. Happy Thanksgiving. And now and then,
Get ready for Christmas.
That's right.
So,
okay.
like, subscribe, click the notification bell if you would. And Lord willing, we'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.